Dozens of coffins, dozens of mummies, and even a secret network of mysterious caves underneath the Great Pyramid of Giza. Here are 10 of the most amazing recent archaeological discoveries from Egypt. Number 10. 100 painted coffins. When it comes to amazing recent archaeological discoveries from Egypt, 2020 was a big year. Egyptian archaeologists just announced that they found more than 100 coffins at an ancient necropolis in Saqqara, and they're pretty impressive. The coffins discovered were completely sealed and intact, and came complete with funerary masks and canopic jars, which were used to store the mummified internal organs of those within the coffins. It turns out that these coffins were buried sometime between 664 and 30 BC. It was by far the biggest discovery of the year, according to the Secretary General of Egypt's Supreme Council of Antiquities. All 100 coffins were discovered inside of 3 different burial shafts, hidden beneath a giant mountain of debris that had never been explored. But what makes these coffins even more amazing is that they were all painted with intricate designs that lasted throughout the centuries. As of now, it's not 100% clear who exactly the mummies are, other than that they lived during the late Ptolemaic period. Egyptologists will need to continue investigating each mummy to discover their identities before sending the collection to the Egyptian Museum. Number 9. Egyptian relic in Scotland. This next Egyptian discovery is amazing for one reason. It was not found in Egypt. Instead, a relic dating over 5,000 years old from the Great Pyramid of Giza was found in Scotland, tucked inside of an ancient cigar box. But just how exactly did a relic end up in Scotland? Well, it all started when a curatorial assistant working at the University of Aberdeen stumbled upon an item that seemed a little out of place. There was a cigar box with an Egyptian flag on it hidden amongst the museum collection. After opening the box and finding a piece of wood inside, the assistant realized that she was looking at a lost artifact from the Pyramid of Giza. For real Egyptian buffs, they'll know that only 3 artifacts have ever been found inside the Great Pyramid, and they're known as the Dixon relics. 2 of them are housed inside the British Museum, and the third object has been missing for over 70 years. Apparently, it had been sitting unnoticed at the University of Aberdeen this whole time. These relics were first discovered in 1872 within the Queen's Chamber. One of the researchers who discovered the relics was a graduate from the University of Aberdeen, and it's likely that it's how the relic ended up in the collection, completely forgotten. As for what the relic is, it's really just a piece of wood about 5 inches long that doesn't serve any purpose. Number 8. The Curse of Tutankhamun. 2020 was a scary year, and 2021 is looking to be even scarier. But perhaps not for the reasons you're thinking. In Egypt, locals have begun to express concern over plans to relocate Tutankhamun's cursed body for the very first time in history. Known all over the world as King Tut, this extremely famous pharaoh from the 18th dynasty of Egypt has long been seen as cursed. After the ancient king's sarcophagus was first opened, it was reported that at least 6 archaeologists died, perhaps because of what is known as the Curse of the Pharaohs. This is total hearsay, but some people still believe in the curse. While a lot of the treasures from Tutankhamun's tomb have traveled the world from museum to museum, the king himself has never moved. But in 2021, King Tutankhamun's new exhibit at a museum opening up in Cairo was finally made ready. The Egyptian government is now hoping to move the ancient king to his new exhibit, but locals are worried. Some people believe that if Tutankhamun is moved, those involved with the project could end up dead from the pharaoh's curse. Either that or a horrifying scourge of evil could befall the city of Luxor. King Tut has remained at home in the Valley of the Kings for over 3,000 years. Moving him may prove to be a deadly error. Number 7. Caves beneath the pyramid. One of the most boggling discoveries recently has to do with the Great Pyramid of Giza, but not with the pyramid itself. According to investigator Andrew Collins, there is an enormous network of caves, tunnels, and secret chambers spreading out from beneath the Great Pyramid. This is a pretty remarkable theory to put forward, but it's actually not completely bonkers. Even though the Great Pyramid was built 4,500 years ago, archaeologists still don't know everything there is to know about it. Andrew Collins, a seasoned explorer who has written many books about Egypt, says that there's an untouched archaeology beneath the structure that must be explored. He also claims that there's an entire ecosystem hidden beneath the main pyramid, including colonies of underground bats and a unique species of spider that he refers to as the White Widow. Supposedly, Mr. Collins found the entrance to the underground chambers by decoding old archaeological texts from the 1800s. He claims to have explored for as far as possible before the air got so thin underground that he had no choice but to leave. However, mainstream scientists have denounced Mr. Collins' discoveries, saying there's nothing new to be found underneath the pyramid. Until someone goes down there with a camera, we'll never know the truth for sure. Number 6. Ancient Egyptian Seal. An amazing piece of ancient Egypt was recently discovered in the ancient city of Comana Pontica, which is located in the country of Turkey. Archaeological work has been ongoing in the city since 2004, but it wasn't until 2020 that researchers found an Egyptian seal shaped like a scarab beetle, which could be up to 3,000 years old. And while a 3,000-year-old scarab is definitely pretty cool, what it means for archaeologists and historians is even more impressive. According to researchers from the Middle East Technical University, the scarab has revealed the significance between Egypt and Turkey in the Hellenistic period, which is considered the period of time between Alexander the Great's death in 323 BC and the rise of the Roman Empire in 31 BC. The scarab proves that during this period, Egypt and Turkey had a very important relationship, with much trade flowing from one country to the other. Number 5. Lost Egyptian Pyramids. It's not every day that somebody opens up Google Earth and discovers long-lost Egyptian pyramids. And yet, this happened just a few years ago when a self-proclaimed satellite archaeology researcher became famous for allegedly finding 2 possible pyramids in Egypt with the use of Google Earth. They definitely looked impressive in the photographs she uploaded. And to any common person, they would have to agree that she had stumbled upon the discovery of a lifetime. Unfortunately, this ended up being a great big letdown. It turns out that the North Carolina woman who first put forward her theory of there being new, previously undiscovered pyramids in Egypt was a bit of a quack. According to a man named James Harrell from the University of Toledo and a leading authority on archaeological geology in ancient Egypt, what the woman discovered on Google Earth were not pyramids at all, but simply large geological features known as buttes, basically mountains of sand and sediment. Clearer photographs of the ones posted by the satellite researcher then showed that the formations weren't even shaped like pyramids at all, but like small sandy circles. Number 4. The Grand Museum. 2021 is going to be a miraculous year for Egypt. It could also be one of the best years ever to visit the country and check out all the amazing archaeological discoveries that have been made over the past few centuries. This is because as of January 2021, Egypt's Grand Egyptian Museum was 97% complete. According to Egypt Today, this facility is going to be one of the biggest museums in the world dedicated to a single civilization. Upon opening, the Grand Museum will exhibit over 50,000 artifacts, including a full collection from King TUTANKHAMUN. If you're interested in checking out all the amazing recent archaeological discoveries made in Egypt, this is where they'll all be stored. Plus, the Grand Egyptian Museum will feature the first hanging obelisk in history, positioned at the entrance of the facility. At the bottom of the hanging obelisk will be the cartridges of King Ramesses II, visible to all those who enter. Number 3. Secret Burial Shaft. Archaeologists did find 100 painted coffins in Saqqara back in 2020, but they also made a pretty cool discovery of coffins at the Sacred Animal Necropolis, an ancient burial ground located roughly 20 miles south from Cairo. It's also in Saqqara, but it's quite a bit different from the first discovery we talked about. Archaeologists discovered 5 limestone sarcophagi and 4 wooden coffins, each one containing a human mummy. These were found within a burial shaft stretching about 26 feet below the ground. However, scientists have yet to identify the mummies. But within the shaft, archaeologists discovered far more than just a couple of unnamed mummies. According to CNN, they also found 365 miniature figurines, many of which were inscribed with hieroglyphics. These small statues are known as Ushabti figurines, and they were often buried inside of Egyptian graves thousands of years ago to assist the body in its ascent to the afterlife. Number 2. The truth about Cleopatra. The next discovery is definitely one of the most important. It turns out that the legendary Cleopatra was really just as beautiful as the legends say. New archaeological evidence found at the site of Osiris Magna, which is located about 30 miles from Alexandria, the city in which Cleopatra was born and ruled, has revealed what the ancient queen's face truly looked like. As you might already know, nobody's found the final resting place of Cleopatra in the 2,000 years since her death. It's been searched for high and low. And one of the most likely candidates for the place where Cleopatra is buried is the site of Osiris Magna. However, her tomb still hasn't been found. Excavations have been going on since 2002 with the discovery of 27 tombs and at least 10 mummies, but still no Cleopatra. However, a recent excavation of 200 royal coins that depict the famous queen's face have confirmed in the eyes of several archaeologists and scholars that Cleopatra was indeed a strikingly beautiful woman, and not horrendously ugly like other scholars have claimed. Number 1. Mysterious Mummies. In September of 2020, CNN reported that 13 unopened coffins were found in Egypt, sealed for over 2,500 years. What's really incredible is that they were discovered inside of an ancient Egyptian well, piled on top of each other over 40 feet under the ground. These unopened coffins were so amazingly preserved that all the original details, design, and colors are still visible today. Found in Saqqara, this discovery was very close to the Step Pyramid, which is considered to be the oldest pyramid in the entire world. These 13 mummies, just like the dozens of other mysterious mummies found at Saqqara in 2020, are still unknown to historians and researchers. Archaeologists are finding so many mummies at this ancient site that it's almost hard to keep track. Mummies are turning up in wells, they're showing up in random burial chambers, and it seems like people are falling into underground tunnels everywhere they step. We can only hope that archaeologists in 2021 will reveal some of the identities of these mummies and why exactly there were so many burials going on at Saqqara thousands of years ago. Which of these spectacular Egyptian discoveries is your favorite? Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and thanks for stopping by. If you enjoyed the content, be sure to hit the subscribe button and come back soon for more.